My dear class of 2021, this is your day. I made a special message for this class because you're very dear to me. I know we haven't seen each other for a year and a half, but I think that there were a lot of things that you waited for so long that didn't happen because you were not present in school for your last year as seniors. There's been no senior first day of the last year. There's been no senior picnic table, no senior CWW. There's been no senior lockers on the top floor of high school. There's been no senior prank. For that, I am truly sorry. However, looking on the bright side of things, I believe that you guys have created bonds that you have made with the faculty and among yourselves. And dear Magnus, it is priceless. Those bonds are priceless. And I will miss you because of those bonds. I'll miss Joaco and Adrian and all of you, even the new ones that came in grade 11. I saw you for half a year. And you're just a wonderful class of students. However, before we go to commencement today, there are three very special people that I want to mention before we go off to the ceremony this morning. And there are only three because we have Davi coming with us this morning. And so I wanted to mention those three people before we leave this morning and go off to the ceremony. Three ACS senior cougars who will always be cougars, even though they cannot attend our presential ceremony today. Aya, Pablo, and Borja. What would Magnus be without you? I will sincerely miss seeing you at the commencement ceremony, but you are included in our videos and in our hearts. Of course, I'm going to be disappointed not to see the three of you walk across the stage with the rest of the class, but no one can take away your achievements. Your achievements that brought you to graduation today are still the same as everyone else, and we are so proud of you. Someday, you will look back and think, wow, what a strange time I graduated at. But this is where we are. As you graduate today, remember, you are all in my thoughts and in my most caring, heartfelt prayers as well. Congratulations, Pablo, Aya, and Borja. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Good morning, parents, honored guests. Welcome to the commencement ceremony of the ACS class of 2021.
Good morning and welcome. I will ask you to please stand while we welcome our ACS Diploma and Bolivian Bachillerato candidates of 2021. Mazin Abu Hamdan. Joaquín Alcoreza Cariaga. Luis Daniel Alistair Hartman. Sebastián Matías Arredondo Zurita. Nathaniel Alejandro Calderón Guillén. Eduardo Canelas Eterovich. Matilda de Rada Wagner. Camila Gumucio. Ki-Wan Kim. Moira Alejandra Lafuente. David Sousa Lima. Adrián Lucio Pales. Alexandra Amelie Montero. Elsa Rebecca Pearson. Sophia Anna Pearson. Catalina Portocarrero Arciénaga. Manuel Sebastián Rodríguez Barrientos. Nicolás Ignacio Schwab Gala. Andrés Matías Taborga Barrios. Can we all please stand and please remain standing for our national anthems?
To celebrate the accomplishments of these wonderful individuals. Before we get started formally, I'd like to ask everyone to please put on a mask. For everyone's protection, we've established some biosecurity expectations that I just want to remind everyone of. First of all, congratulations, you're all seated safely. You found your tables. At the end of the ceremony, I will be dismissing you table by table to leave the event center. so that the staff can clean up a little bit, and then I understand you're going to be coming back on into the event center, but that's fine. But once I dismiss you, we'll ask you to leave the Mediterranean. Additionally, this is a time to celebrate, and so there's a lot of photo ops that we've planned. For your convenience, we put spots here for when your graduate receives their diploma. They'll stand in one spot with Grace for a photo op with the principal, center stage with a photo opportunity with the chair of the board of directors, Ms. Casey Value, and myself. And then here, alone, they'll be able to present their diploma and take their mask off. And that's the only time that we're going to ask the graduates or invite them to take their masks off. And then they'll escort themselves down the stairs. Thank you for following these biosecurity protocols, as we all have a responsibility. We're peaking in the third wave of the pandemic, and we want to make sure that this event is up to the American Educational Association standards of excellence and international biosecurity protocols. Now the fun begins. It's my honor to welcome these students, parents, faculty, brothers and sisters, and especially the graduating seniors of the American Educational Association ACS Calvert's commencement ceremony, honoring this special class. I'd like to introduce our school leaders on the stage. To my left, Ms. Grace Kirscher, secondary school principal, Ms. Casey Value, chair of the board of trustees, and Ms. Carolina Blanco, our secondary counselor and college counselor. I'd also like to thank at this time Ms. Maria Calvo for assembling the senior pictorial, which we will view together later in the ceremony, as well as our security and tech teams and the staff of the Mediterranean for their dedication to this event. Everyone's been working quite diligently these past months to make this year's commencement extra special for these kids and for you. I'm completing my 4th year at ACS as superintendent, and it's been an honor and a privilege to serve and bring an American education to the people of Bolivia. However, it's the 64th time a superintendent has had the honor of addressing our community as we celebrate an ACS commencement filled with its traditions and the spirit of celebrating our most senior students. Today, we will reflect on the past and mark the end of their journey. Today is also a time to look ahead, to be inspired, and to dream of what could be for these young people and for our world. But perhaps most importantly, it's a time to be appreciative of the present. This one final time that all of us will be in the presence of this diverse and talented group of young adults. And most probably the last time they will all be together. This ceremony is especially significant because of the intense year our seniors and their parents and their teachers have experienced together or apart. When I was interviewing to be a superintendent, a theme emerged from the people that I spoke with, and that was our concept of community. And words that were connected to that were, we are strong, we're resilient, we're a family. And when you're interviewing for jobs like this, you hear that all the time. How supportive a community can be. Very much like a family. But now I've had the chance to experience it. And these past 4 years have affirmed that we are an extremely tightly knit group of people. And we never really understand our strength as a community until we endure together hardship and tragedy. This pandemic has tested our mettle, and it's proved our worth to ourselves and to each other. And I'm thankful for all of the ways we have lifted each other up throughout the last 16 months. At the same time, our community has fresh wounds and scars caused by the death, continued sickness, social longing, and the economic hardship that the pandemic has brought to our doorsteps. So at this time, I invite us all for a moment of silence to honor those no longer with us, those continue who are afflicted in our immediate and in our extended global communities. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. In this spirit of gratitude, there's no time like the present to show our appreciation to the people who have played key roles in bringing our graduates to this point. To our families, parents, and siblings that are here. Parents, you might remember the first day you dropped your child off at kindergarten. You might recall the fear and excitement you shared with them on their first day. And I imagine many of you will relive that fear and excitement when you drop them off for the first day at university. But remember, and congratulate yourselves for everything you have done between their births and this moment that has helped them achieve all that we celebrate today. Thank you, parents. Graduates, please give your parents a round of applause, and your sisters and brothers who are here. To the faculty, thank you. These seniors amplify your work and efforts through their deeds. We've never taken for granted the privilege of working with these fine young adults, and we assume that responsibility with a seriousness of purpose matched only by the joy we experienced in the endeavor. Even this year, when connected only through technology, these teachers have made a lasting impact on our seniors, and much of it will only be realized over the years ahead. At the same time, these seniors remind us of why we teach, and they have left an indelible mark on us. Thank you, teachers. Please join me in thanking the faculty. This morning, we recognize all of these individuals, and you may have observed some of them wearing cords or garments of distinction. Our National Honor Society members can be recognized by their white lapels, with special recognition to the President of NHS, who wears the NHS Gold Medallion. Our Student Council STUCO members can be recognized by their gold cords. Our GIN, Global Issues Network leaders, are wearing white cords. Seniors who have distinguished themselves in athletics are wearing green cords. Seniors accomplished in the fine arts, music, and technology are wearing silver cords. And those who received a presidential award for academic excellence at our award ceremony are wearing black cords. At this time, I invite remotely Mr. Rodrigo Navarro to address the class of 2021. Mr. Navarro is currently the CEO of 4D Path Incorporated and has been there since 2016. But before that, he co-founded the 4D Path. He worked for 12 years as the CEO of Point Right Incorporated, a healthcare data analytics company focusing on post-acute care and developing novel mathematical predictive models for insurance companies to improve the management of patient care. In his earlier professional career, he worked in investment banking in Latin America, as well as with Professor Jeffrey Sachs at the Harvard Institute of International Development. He is an engineer, graduating with a Bachelor of Science and a Master's of Science from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and holds an MBA from MIT Sloan School of Management. His extracurricular activities, he's a busy guy, but in his free time, he enjoys social work, addressing poverty issues in developing countries, and running marathons. It's my pleasure to invite you to view the screen and listen to the words of Mr. Rodrigo Navarro as he addresses the class of 2021.
Good morning, students of the graduating class of 2021. Good morning to your family members, to the members of the American Cooperative School, to the teachers. What an honor for me to be here with you. An honor because this is a special day for you. And having been invited to join you and provide you with my thoughts, is truly something that I appreciate. This is such a special moment. I still remember when I was graduating from high school. I may not remember the speech or what I heard, but I still remember that day. And I hope that in many years, you will remember some of what I said. Well, it's commencement, right? And commencement in Spanish is comienzo, right? And what we're celebrating today is not only that you're graduating, but it's that you're beginning a new life. A life where you're going to make more decisions by yourselves. A life that opens a world of opportunities. And it depends what you do. And it depends on what you want to do to make you successful. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I sort of relate to you as I have 3 children. 2 graduated from high school, 1 who's still in high school. One of them already graduated from college, and I was participating at the commencement exercises a few weeks back when he was graduating from college. And I saw that life flies. As you will see, in a few years you'll be graduating and you will be moving to a new stage in your lives. It's a great experience. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I finished my high school in Bolivia, and I came to the US, to Boston, where I finished my bachelor's in science and my master's at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And after a few years, I went to Bolivia, worked in Bolivia, and came back to the US to finish my MBA. Since then, I've worked initially in the financial sector and then in the healthcare sector. I run now a small startup that we started about 4 years ago, which concentrates in cancer. It does something fantastic. And I think I have the best job in the world. And it's to discover and try to help people who have cancer. And we hope that we will be very successful in a few years. But it's not about me, it's about you today. And so let me move on to the next stage. I will want to give you a few messages, 3. And out of those messages, I hope you remember at least one in the future. But let me go one by one. As I said, today we're celebrating that you're graduating. What does that mean? It means that we have completed the foundation that you needed. Foundation which was obviously built by you, along with your family members, with your friends, and your teachers. So you have covered the academic sector, you have covered the social aspects of it, you have covered the moral aspects of it, the principles. So it's a foundation which is not just academic, but it's very important because the school provided you with a true academic background. But you also had your family members and your families and your siblings and your parents. Or maybe you even had a friend who had helped you go through this process to build this foundation. Now, once you have built the foundation, now it's your turn individually to start putting the building blocks, right? And when you put the building blocks, you don't want to spend your life just putting one row of building blocks around on top of the foundation. You want to put many rows of building blocks. And in order to do that, you have to plan. You have to have an objective, a high objective. You have to aim high so that you can start putting many building blocks to build whatever you want to build in your lives. So you don't want to start putting building blocks somewhere else. You want to put them on the foundation. Remember always what you learn in school, what you learn from your families, and what you learn from your friends. And that's going to make you build and have a higher building and a successful, I will call it a successful building. So that's the first one. Aim high, build on top of your foundation. The second message that I want to share with you is that you need to buy your luck. So let me tell you a story. I was working for a firm a few years back, And one of the members, one of my colleagues, won a lottery, a big one. So I went to his office to congratulate him. And the first thing he said, listen, Rodrigo, in order to win the lottery, you have to buy a ticket. If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm not lucky, and they don't buy tickets. Well, they're never going to be lucky if they don't buy tickets. Well, let me turn that story into our lives. You have bought your tickets applying to colleges, right? And you have had the right to choose the place you want to go to. But there's going to be many opportunities in your lives where you will have to buy your tickets. Be it because you want to go to grad school, be it because you want to go and find a job, be it because you want to go and move to a different city, be it whatever it is. Always buy your ticket. And if you do so, sometimes you may not win the lottery, but at least you have tried your best. So, do it. Go ahead. Move. Take your risks. And eventually you will win a lottery or your luck. And that's going to make you extremely happy because you're fighting to do so. So, that's the second message. So, my third message is that you can't avoid challenges. So, let me tell you another story. So, there's this kid who goes to dinner in his family, he's with his siblings, his parents, and so on, and he sees that he doesn't like the food. And whatever it is, whatever you don't like, and the guy gets quite annoyed and says, "Listen, I'm not gonna have dinner." He goes back to his room. Well, he gets hungrier and hungrier, and suddenly, at the end, after a few hours, he decides to go back to his parents, and he says, "Listen, I wanna eat something, and I'm gonna eat what you have prepared. But let me tell you one thing that I want you to understand. I don't like that food." You know what? It's like challenges. We don't like all the challenges. We don't like all the problems that we will face in our lives. But we will face a lot of problems, a lot of challenges. And we better be ready to overcome those challenges and not fight against them and not evade them. If we want to be successful, if we want to aim high, if we want to buy our luck, we better overcome those challenges. So that's the third message, right? So now let me tell you, life is like a marathon, right? A marathon has 26 miles. And you run mile by mile. Maybe you have already run 2 miles or 3 miles in this marathon, in this life marathon. Well, first of all, you need to know that there's a finish line. And you sort of want to know or want to think or want to plan what that finish line is going to be. Maybe that finish line changes after a few years, but at least know what you want to do. Second, worry about the next mile. Don't worry about the 26th, the 25th, the 24th mile. Worry about the next mile. Concentrate on that mile. And once you finish it, go to the next one. Maybe your next mile is finishing college. Fine, perfect. Do the best you can, and then move to the next one. And if you take a mile at a time, you're going to finish the marathon. So, those were the messages that I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to repeat them. First, build on top of the foundations, and the foundation that you have built already with your teachers, with your families. Second, buy your luck. And third, don't run away from challenges. Overcome them. Fight, and you're going to be quite successful. So, I'm just about to finish, and I want to tell you that it's going to be a great life for you. You're so lucky to be finishing from a school like yours. It's just, not everybody can say that. And I think you're a wonderful class. I've seen that you have chosen to go to different colleges everywhere in the world. Asia, I've seen, even somebody's coming to Boston. I've seen some other people going to the Midwest, to Indianapolis. Others in San Diego and in California, others in Europe, others in Canada, someone staying in Bolivia. I mean, you have tremendous opportunities for the future. Take the challenges, move on. You're going to be quite successful, and I wish you the very best. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity, and I wish you great, great success. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. At this time, we have a little gift for our graduates, and we would like you to enjoy a very special message from your beloved senior sponsors and advisors, Ms. Alma Cabello and Mr. Robert Oakes.
The Magnus class of 2021 was my first freshman class at ACS, and they immediately made an impression. I think it was the frenzied victory of a hot dog eating contest that got me on their side. As a mentor, a cheerleader, a trash collector, and an English teacher, I was able to forge a bond with this class. With the irreplaceable, invaluable help of Ms. Alma Cabello, I learned and experienced with this class. Very often that learning took place outside of the classroom. These photos, some worth at least 1,000 words, show the magnitude of my Magnus experience.
Buenos días, queridos seniors, clase 2021. Hoy celebramos todos su graduación y les deseo el mayor de los éxitos. Decirles que han sido una clase con muchos atributos, los cuales siempre noté y admiré a través del tiempo que he podido compartir con ustedes. Cada uno, de una manera u otra, ha podido aportar a la personalidad especial y admirable de esta clase 2021. Una clase donde imperó el respeto, la amistad, el cariño, la alegría, el entusiasmo, el compromiso al estudio y su dedicación al estudio, y sobre todo, ese espíritu de consideración que siempre mostraron hacia los demás. Estos últimos años no han sido fáciles. Han vivido intensas etapas de inestabilidad política y luego esta gran y terrible pandemia. Esto acompañado con situaciones personales y familiares que surgen. Pero no todo tiene que ser visto como algo negativo, como algo lúgubre. Estos escollos los han ayudado a crecer, a madurar, a desarrollar varias capacidades para enfrentar la vida. Y estas adversidades los convierten en una generación valiente, con pensamiento crítico y con una fuerza interior importante. Todas estas experiencias, chicos, lo ayudarán a enfrentar otras situaciones difíciles que muy posiblemente no podrán evadir, pero con seguridad podrán enfrentar sin ningún miedo. Así que, chicos, eso es parte de mi mensaje. La otra parte es que a mí me encantaría que ustedes escucharan un poema que es uno de mis poemas favoritos, el cual a mi entender tiene un mensaje importante para ustedes. El título es Ítaca y su escritor, su autor, es Constantino Cavafis. Y por última vez, les voy a pedir que presten atención a este poema y que reflexionen y que en algún momento puedan ustedes internalizar este mensaje que da este hermoso poema. Escuchen, aquí vamos. Ítaca. Cuando salgas de viaje para Ítaca, desea que el viaje sea largo, colmado de aventuras, colmado de experiencias. A los lestrigones y a los cíclopes, al irascible Poseidón, no temas, pues nunca encuentros tales tendrás en el camino si tu pensamiento se mantiene alto, si una exquisita emoción te toca cuerpo y alma. A los lestrigones y a los cíclopes, al fiero Poseidón no encontrarás, a no ser que los lleves ya en tu alma, a no ser que tu alma los ponga en pie ante ti. Desea que el camino sea largo, que sean muchas las mañanas estivales, en que, y con qué alegre placer, entres en puertos que ves por vez primera. Detente en los mercados fenicios para adquirir sus bellas mercancías, madreperlas, nácares, ébanos, ámbares y voluptuosos perfumes de todas las clases, y todos los voluptuosos perfumes que se te sean posibles. Y vete a muchas ciudades de Egipto y aprende de los sabios. Mantén siempre a Ítaca en tu mente. Llegar allí es tu destino, pero no tengas la menor prisa en el viaje. Es mejor que dure muchos años y que viejo al fin arribes a la isla, rico por todas las ganancias de tu viaje, sin esperar que Ítaca te va a ofrecer riquezas. Ítaca te ha dado un viaje hermoso. Sin ella no te habrías puesto en marcha, pero no tiene más que ofrecerte. Aunque la encuentres pobre, Ítaca de ti no se ha burlado. Convertido en tan sabio y con tanta experiencia, ya habrás comprendido el significado de las Ítacas. Y jóvenes, ustedes van a emprender un viaje. Y queda en ustedes en que ese viaje esté lleno de experiencias, porque esas experiencias son las que nos van a convertir en sabios. Disfruten ese hermoso viaje, cuídense mucho, se les quiso muchísimo y yo les deseo lo mejor. Hasta siempre. Chao, chao.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Oakes. Thank you, Mrs. Cabello. And we're now going to continue with something that we've learned to do every year now, and it's our senior pictorial. And I want to thank Ms. Maria Calvo for putting this together. Enjoy.
wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish all day long. The people on the bus bounce up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus bounce up and down all day long. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The bell on the bus goes ping, 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 ping. The bell on the bus goes ping, ping, ping all day long. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all day long. Round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The bell on the bus goes ping, 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 ping. The bell on the bus goes ping, ping, ping all day long. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all day long. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish all day long. The people on the bus bounce up and down, up and down, up and down. The people on the bus bounce up and down all day long. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long.
I would now like to introduce a very special young lady.
I don't know if the microphone is still on. Yeah. I would now like to introduce a very special young lady. Her name is Sophia Anna Pearson. Sophia is our valedictorian of the class of 2021 and will be attending Bocconi University in Italy. She's going to be majoring in economics and computer science. Sophia's teachers tell me that what truly makes her stand out is her integrity, her competitiveness, and her willingness to be challenged. Sophia will now give the valedictorian address. Sophia?
Graduation day. How many months, or even years, have we been anxiously waiting for this moment to come? All the late nights of cramming for exams, finishing homework right before the deadline, and stressing over grades, to finally be able to say that we have graduated high school and move on to the next chapter of our lives. Yet, when the moment comes, we find ourselves feeling wistful as we think about everything we have to leave behind. I know I certainly feel that way, and will be forever grateful to my classmates who have helped me adjust to a new country and make the best out of my last 2 years of high school, even through difficult times. And my teachers for pushing me to realize my potential and inspiring me to follow my passions. Although we had to spend our senior year locked inside our rooms, attending classes via Zoom, my classmates still managed to make this one of the most memorable years. Whether it be through our conversations in breakout rooms or playing games together during our breaks, this class has always been able to make the best out of any situation, even when it shows up uninvited. I know that wherever you end up going, whether that be North America, Europe, or Asia, Magnus will succeed because our class is filled with resilient, caring, and fun people who never fail to light up a room with their presence. Every single one of you is special, and I have no doubt in my mind that you will leave an impact on the world, whether it be through scientific discoveries, award-winning films, economic theories, or anything else you set out to do. Despite my short run at ACS, I wouldn't want to be graduating with any other class. I want to directly thank Magnus for welcoming me so warmly into a class I will never forget and will always cherish deeply. Thank you for showing me how close the class can be and allowing me to be a part of it. Alongside this class, I have grown, I have laughed, I have learned. And for those of you who have spent many years at ACS, many more than I have, I can only imagine all of the memories, experiences, and lessons you will be able to carry with you from this school for the rest of your life. Today is the day we are officially making the transition into adulthood, leaving an era of our lives that is frankly scary and uncomfortable for us to leave. But as we do so, we take with us the relationships we built and the lessons we have learned into a new, exhilarating future full of mysteries and joys waiting to unravel. Thank you.
When I read or give my speeches, either I breathe or I talk. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Sophia. That was wonderful, and I'm sure it meant a lot to your peers. So here we are. I would like to address everyone today. Mr. Otis, Ms. Casey Balu, ACS faculty, parents, families, and my dear outgoing 12th grade class, Magnus. I am honored and pleased to deliver this graduation speech today. We are here to bid farewell to our seniors who are leaving our beloved ACS after the successful completion of their graduation requirements. Dear seniors, despite a difficult year, you have completed this first part of your academic journey with great achievements and beautiful memories. I know that many times faculty, Ms. Blanco, and I have been tough on you, but it was all to prepare you for a greater challenge ahead and to ensure that you built a strong foundation for your life outside of ACS walls. Little did we know that you would have to face other challenges like the global pandemic starting before your senior year and continuing into your steps off to college. You have attained this graduation milestone in your life with honor, integrity, and sacrifice. Your long awaited for a moment that symbolizes independence and new adventures is a chance to start from zero all over again and do things differently than you did in the past. It has arrived. But it also represents more responsibility, leaving your parents' nest, and learning to balance all the parts of your life. Learning to balance holding on and then letting go just enough to be able to maintain your grip and continue to grow. Today I am honored to say that we are proud of your many achievements over the years, your various accomplishments in curriculum and extracurriculum activities, your brilliant achievements in academia, in sports, in art, in music, and indeed, they are all acknowledged. These memories will forever remain in our hearts. I wish to thank you for your sacrifices during this senior year. No first day of the last year, I know. And for putting your studies first and foremost, no matter what, even though your heart was aching for the loss of visiting Cusco and Machu Picchu, together with last friendship games. Adrienne? No? Music and talent concerts, art shows, senior freshie parties, senior lunches, and the privileges that seniors believe they have, but await for with so much enthusiasm. But I have to say that this loss was your gain. You built beautiful relationships with your teachers, with admin, the student body, and among yourselves. Such high-quality relationships may not have been built if it weren't for this year of challenges, which brought us together as a community. Dear seniors, as you leave ACS, expect that challenges await you on every corner, which of course I strongly believe, going by your antecedents and the manner you have conducted yourselves over the years, and the skills and knowledge that you have acquired, that you will surely overcome them and learn to adapt to them. At this point, I want to remind you, my dear graduates, to always be ambassadors for ACS. Continue to be kind and good to each other and anyone that you meet on your way. Always remember the ACS core values as you journey to greatness. Founded in integrity, committed to diversity, and focused on excellence. On behalf of the ACS faculty and staff, I wish you the best of luck in your days ahead. Thank you very much. It is now my pleasure, we've gotten to that point, to invite Mr. Jamie Otis, Ms. Casey Value, Ms. Carolina Blanco, and Ms. Jackie Charan to assist me in awarding the ACS diplomas of the class of 2021.
Magnus, once I call your name, please receive your diploma and return to the table with your parents and families. Masen Abu Handan Lascana. Parents, you can come up and take pictures when the children are talking about it. Luis Daniel Alister Madman. Sebastián Matías Arredondo Zurita.
Lady Pondori Morales. Matilda Berrada Wagner. Camila Gumucio Daniel. Iwan Kim. Moira Alejandra Lapuente. David Sosa Lima. Adrián Lucio Peláez. Alexandra Amelie Montero. Natalia Sofía Paredes Segarra. Rodríguez Barrientos. Nicolás Ignacio Suárez Gaya. Andrés Matías Taborga Barrios. Thank you. I would now like to invite Mr. Otis to come up and to say a few words to our just graduated class of 2021.
My few words are pretty simple because now we're at the time where I have the honor to confer the ACS diploma on our soon-to-be alums. So with your permission, now that we've safely returned your children to your tables, members of the ACS Calvert class of 2021, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the American Educational Association, ACS Calvert, and the Bolivian Ministry of Education, and as the school's superintendent, it is my high honor and my privilege to ask you to perform your last task as students of ACS. Members of the class of 2021, I hereby confer upon you the American Educational Association High School Diploma, for which you have fulfilled all requirements. At this time, please move your tassels over to the right-hand side of your mortarboard as a symbolic representation of all of your accomplishments. Graduates of ACS, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and school leadership, I extend to you our sincere congratulations and best wishes for a wonderful future. Congratulations, everyone.